All right, Coach Pitino, thank you for hopping on with us tonight as always. We will get right into questions for Coach. So if you'd like to ask a question, please send me a message in the group chat. And with that said, we will start off with Andy Greeter.
Richard, what did it mean just to get a win, to get on the right side of things after a 3-game losing streak?
It was a 3-game losing streak that was spread out over a long period of time. That was the weird part about it, just because of the cancellation with the Nebraska game. Obviously it's a different year, but you have to win on your home court in this league. You have to find a way to do that. Obviously, we've only lost one game here. But we were pretty good to deal with that much foul trouble. So anytime you get an 18-point win in this league, you take it. It was good to get some other guys some good quality playing time. They cut it to 7, and then we went back with Marcus and Liam, and we extended that. So it was challenging with all that foul trouble. But like I said, any opportunity to get a win in this league, you will take because it's such a challenging league.
Next, we will go over to Marcus Fuller.
Coach, early on, Marcus had, I think, 5 assists in the first 5 minutes, and he was really getting his teammates involved. What did you like from him in the beginning of the game, and then how he ended it?
I thought he played awesome. I thought he was terrific at the beginning. He was getting deflections. He was getting assists. He was playing in a great rhythm. We constantly talk about if they're going to put 2-3 guys on you, get other guys wide open looks. He did that. He just dealt with major foul trouble, but obviously it shows how important he is to us. But it was also good. Jamal Mashburn, who is very important to our future, played 29 minutes. So he can draw a lot of good, good things out of that. But Marcus was ready to go, showed great leadership even on the bench, and was, 21 points, 8 assists in 19 minutes, pretty impressive.
AJ Condon, over to you.
Coach, Nebraska had 8 offensive rebounds in the first, only 3 in the second. What was the difference between those two halves?
Just physicality, blocking out. We got to hit bodies. There's no team that's more physical than the team we're about to play. I thought we took a major step forward versus Rutgers, and we better hit a body every single time versus Purdue because they crushed us on the offensive glass. So just embracing the physicality of the game.
Daniel House, over to you.
Hey, Richard, Brandon Johnson had a double-double in 36 minutes tonight with Liam and Marcus hitting the bench. How key was his effort?
He was terrific. He saved us. I didn't even sub him out in the second half just because I thought we needed him. I didn't want to have Brandon and Liam and Marcus all on the bench. 7 offensive rebounds, playing through a finger injury as well. So showing great toughness. He got us some extra possessions. He was huge.
Next question will come from Dave Campbell.
Hey, Richard, where do you think Mashburn is coming along the most at this point?
I think he's still figuring it out. I think he's trying to figure out spots of where to get, he's a really good mid-range shooter, which is fine by me. I thought he was getting to the rim, a couple calls he didn't get, but just continuing to be more confident. I think he's a really good player. We've talked a lot about it. Still things defensively, all freshmen can do better at. But I think that was a really beneficial game for him because he looked like he belonged out there. And sometimes freshmen, it takes some time.
Andy, back to you.
Richard, how many of those 9 fouls would you say were ones that, they were maybe too aggressive on or not smart enough, too far away from the basket, over the back, that kind of thing?
You're talking about with Marcus?
Yeah, with Marcus and Liam, those 9 total fouls. How many do you think were too much?
My guess is probably about half of them were too much. It was hard to really tell. There was obviously a lot of foul calls on both ways. But I do know that we got to watch them and we got to learn from them because we're a better team when they're on the court. It's really hard to win when you have that much foul trouble. So hard to tell exactly with both guys, to be honest with you.
Marcus Fuller, back to you.
Coach, at one point it seemed like this is the kind of game where, Sam and Isaiah and those kind of guys would play more, but then it got closer. Was it unfortunate that, those guys weren't able to play because it was a close one in the second half?
I don't look at it like that, and I look at it like it's hard to win games, and anybody who can help us win's got to be ready to go and ready to play. It's not easy to blow out teams. You know, I mean, Nebraska is a well-coached team. They've got some good talent. You know, so I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like that was a good team win. Guys got to be ready. You know, you got to be ready off the bench, and because it's never going to be a perfect game. There's going to be foul trouble. You know, knock on wood, there's not injuries, but that can happen as well. So, team, everybody's got to be ready on the team.
Last call for any questions from Coach. Let's give it a few seconds before we let him run. Not seeing anything. So, Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I'll resume here in just a few moments with the players. Again, if you join late, we'll have Brandon Johnson and Marcus Carr. Thank you.
Marcus first. He should be here any moment.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul.
All right, he's coming in. So once he takes a seat, we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you, Marcus.
Marcus, thank you for hopping on with us tonight. We'll
You guys for having me.
right into questions for Marcus as soon as the first one rolls in the chat. Thank you. Andy Greeter, start us off.
Marcus, how would you kind of describe this one and kind of the frustration or difficulty in having to deal with the foul trouble they had to deal with in both halves?
Yeah, you know, the refs were, you know, pretty much blowing it both ways. I think both teams had quite a bit of fouls in each half. That's just the way they were calling it today. You know, me and Liam just had a tougher time, you know, adjusting to that and, you know, still trying to play aggressive defense like Coach is talking about. You know, we're trying to get out, disrupt, and just be physical, play physical. That's how the Big Ten is. So, you know, it was kind of different. They kind of not been calling it that way all year, but, you know, today that's just the way they're calling it. But, you know, credit to the bench and the guys who stepped up, you know, to keep our lead and keep us in the game. And, you know, we were able to come in and finish it out at the end.
Dave Campbell, over to you.
Marcus, with all that extra time on the bench, got a lot of chance to watch Jamal run the offense. What sort of assess his progress? What stands out to you at this point in his freshman year?
Yeah, you know, it hasn't been a surprise to me. Don't think it was a surprise to anybody really on the team. You know, obviously we've been seeing him work every day. He's one of the hardest working kids on the team, and, you know, honestly, his future's really bright. You know, when he's aggressive and, you know, he gets to his spots, you know, you kind of really see him shine. So, you know, me being in foul trouble kind of gave him that time today, a little extra time on the ball as opposed to being off the ball. And you kind of just seen, you know, a glimpse of what he can do and what he's going to be. So, you know, I'm super proud of him, but I'm not surprised at all. And, you know, I kind of hold him to a high regard. So performance like today was just something I expect from him.
Next, we'll go over to Marcus Fuller.
I guess just talk about the importance of the way that Brandon's playing right now as a senior, and, you know, he's got a sense of urgency because this is, you know, could be his last year. He really wants to finish it off strong.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, B just had a tough time, you know, early on, whether it was preseason or early on in the season, just a couple nagging injuries. I mean, still to this day. But, you know, he's really just showing how much, you know, he loves us and he's playing for us, fighting through those and, you know, playing like he did today. Huge double-double, huge rebounding, and some big-time shots as well, just to keep us flowing on the offensive end. So, you know, huge credit to B. He's been doing what he's been doing all year, and, you know, he's being consistent with it. So definitely love how he's playing and love how he's fighting for us.
Andy Greeter, back to you.
I know you were trying to will your team to a win at Purdue, or excuse me, at Rutgers. How much did kind of the way that thing went down kind of motivate you to have a strong game and move forward?
It was huge. You know, I kind of take pride in being able to make plays down the stretch. And, you know, the last couple of minutes there, the last couple of plays, you know, I missed both those shots. And, you know, I really kind of just want to be that guy who could close that out for our team in those situations and be consistent with that. So, you know, it's definitely one that I took on the chin. I told the guys, you know, that loss is on me. You guys played hard and put us in position. I just didn't close it out. So, you know, definitely wanted to come out here today and not take this one lightly, not take it for granted. You know, it's the Big Ten at the end of the day. Everybody could play. Just wanted to get back on track, you know, kind of erase these past 3 games and play how we know we can play and head into Thursday with some confidence.
Next question will come from Daniel House.
Marcus, you had 5 quick assists early in the game. How much did that early ball movement help you guys find a groove offensively?
Yeah, kind of knew pretty much what every team does. They're going to try and load up on me and collapse in the paint, whenever I'm driving or whenever I have the ball. So, I'm just continuing to tell the guys, be ready. I'm going to kick it to you guys. Just be ready to shoot. You guys are going to have open shots. And today they did a great job of knocking them down. And, obviously it kind of translated throughout the game, gave guys confidence. A lot of guys were scoring the ball. So it's just testament to them. They're ready. And my job was easy. Just had to deliver it.
And last question for Marcus will come from AJ Condon.
Hey Marcus, you guys got back in the win column tonight. You guys got a good amount of games coming up in the future, 2 weeks. How are you going to be able to use this momentum tonight into the future games?
Yeah, it's always huge when you can get a good quality win on your home court. Going into Thursday, playing Purdue again, so we definitely have some unfinished business. But yeah, the way guys were hitting shots tonight, playing well together, the way we were moving the ball, and then we're going to continue to practice and prepare for Purdue, and that's definitely going to carry over. So I'm excited for Thursday.
All right, that's all we have for tonight, Marcus. Thank you for your time, man.
Thank you guys.
Wrap it up here in just a few moments, everyone, with Brandon Johnson. Thank you. Yep, all good.
Sounds good. Brandon's here. We'll get him in.
Fantastic.
Might just have to adjust this table for a second. So we just grab a seat, and if we need to, we will.
Good.
All right, Ollie, go ahead.
Brandon, thank you for hopping on with us tonight. If you have any questions for Brandon, just send me a message in the chat if you'd like to ask him a question, and we'll start off once again with Andy Greeter.
Brandon, with Liam and Marcus in foul trouble, pretty much all game, how did you try to step up and provide a veteran leadership?
Just work hard on the effort areas of the game. Just crashing hard for offensive rebounds, working 110% on the defensive end, and just communicating, because that's the main key in playing basketball, offensively or defensively. Like, communication is key. So that's where I tried to step up and try to hold things together until those guys got back in the game.
Dave Campbell, over to you for the next one.
Hey, Brandon, Coach talked about how important it will be to play even more physical against Purdue. How much do you feel like are you intentional about setting that tone and example for the rest of your team? And do you feel like it's more by example on the court, or is it something you talk about a lot as a senior?
Like, I don't really go by talking too much, because actions mean everything. So like I could say it, and like I do talk, I do try to motivate guys in the effort areas and stuff like that. But if I don't do it, if I don't show it, nobody's gonna be able to follow that lead, because I could just be wasting my breath and they'll just be like, oh, well, he's not doing it, so I'm not gonna do it. So I'm always gonna try to lead by example in whatever way I can, and not just this game, but every game for the rest of the season.
Marcus Fuller, over to you.
How did it feel to hit a three again? And I know that 3-pointers are part of your game, but it's not all of your game. So not hitting threes made you play inside a lot more, and then and get really physical in the Big Ten. And now you're hitting threes again. What does it feel like?
Just had to get in the flow of the game, because some of my past threes in the past couple games weren't like in the flow of the offense. Like, I had seen a slight opening, so I just took it. But my preparation was all off and everything like that. But today it really came in the flow of the offense. So I just got to keep just focusing on getting like my touches and like my shots in the flow of the offense, and everything will be good.
Andy, back to you.
Richard said you're playing through a finger injury. What is that like to play through? How's it, the pain or anything?
It's hard, but once the ball tips up, I'm just pretty much just going off pure adrenaline. It'll be a lot to take me from not playing the game. I've been playing through like little injuries, knick-knack injuries, pretty much my whole career here and there. But that's something that won't stop me from playing hard every day.
Next question will come from Daniel House.
Hey, Brandon, as a team, you guys had 16 offensive boards. You grabbed 7. What do you think fueled that success tonight?
Just positioning. Just every time a shot goes up, just thinking that the shot's coming off. I have 100% confidence in our guys shooting shots, but that's the main key in offensive rebounding, just assuming every shot's missed. And everybody had that mentality tonight.
Andy Grader, back to you.
Brandon, I know this might be premature. Have you put any thought into whether you'll come back next year or not?
I haven't really put too much thought in it. I'm just focused on achieving all our goals this year. Because we have a great team, very special group, very special coaching staff, and I'm just mainly keeping tunnel vision right now.
And last question for Brandon will come from Marcus Fuller.
Brandon, Marcus was just on and he talked about that he felt like he lost the game for you guys because he missed some shots at the end. I mean, obviously it's not all on his shoulders, but what does it mean when he says something like that and then he comes back and has another really good game?
He's a great player. Great players do that. Like, they bounce back. I would never put that loss on him because it's a team game. It was mistakes I made in the game that cost us to win. And everybody else that played, everybody made a mistake. So I'm not about to pressure him like that, but that shows how great of a player that he really is. And great players always bounce back. So.
All right, that's all we have for tonight. Brandon, thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it.
And everyone else, same as always, thank you for your time. Have a great rest of your Monday. See you later this week.